Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the latest foundation product from Shiseido, which is the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Tint. Now I've reviewed the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation, the original, and I'm going to swatch that next to this one today. I've also reviewed the light reflecting or whatever they called it, so I'll link to that down below. As always, I will have timestamps down below as well if you're looking to see what's going to be in the review. I'll be showing you application, before and after, flash photo and close-ups, a couple of swatches if you're trying to figure out your shade, how it looks in natural light in the middle of the day, and how it looks at the end of the day. But other than that, if you enjoy this style of video, be sure to subscribe. But let's go ahead and get started. So I picked this foundation up at Hudson's Bay here in Canada, and it's also available at Shoppers Drug Mart. In Canada, it's retailing for $55, in the US for $43 on the Sephora website. I'm assuming it'll come to Sephora Canada eventually. And you are getting 30 milliliters of product in here, which is the average size of a foundation. You do get a little indication of the shade there on the bottom, kind of nice, fairly typical, I guess, tinted moisturizer, skin tint kind of packaging. In Canada, it doesn't list the SPF of 20, but in the US it does. We have different rules. But other than that, I'm wearing the shade medium 335 Katsura. Now I'm a little bit confused because when I went to go pick this up in store, this was the darkest shade, and I was really kind of peeved about that. I've got to get ready with me coming up where I'm going to be using this for the first time and talking about that. But then when I went online, there seems to be shades that are deeper than this, which I really appreciate, but then I don't understand the shade range that was available in store. Maybe they didn't have all 12 at Hudson's Bay, but I'll put up a picture of me trying the shade that was just below this. This shade is a little bit deeper than what I would want it to be, but because it is a very light coverage product, I figured I could kind of get away with it, and I wanted to test it out, but that was kind of all that was available, and I didn't want to pick up two to mix. So let's go ahead and get into application. I'm just going to quickly show you a swatch. So this is a swatch of the Self-Refreshing Foundation, and the thing that I love about the Self-Refreshing Foundation, the original, is how well it matched my skin. Really great neutral undertones. I find the tint to be a little bit deeper in terms of the, obviously the color, but also just in depth. It's a little bit warmer as well. There's what the texture looks like on my skin. I just did my skincare, so I'm not going to prime my face today. And I'm going to use a brush. This is the Refi brush. I've been quite liking it with a lot of different foundations, skin tints. This is going to sheer out the coverage as well, but as you can see, it's definitely warmer than what I want. This claims to also have some kind of like skin-loving ingredients, skincare ingredients. That's what everybody's sort of doing right now. There's hyaluronic acid in here, which is meant to be hydrating. It's supposed to hydrate your skin for 24 hours, or so they say. Light coverage, natural finish. And if you can probably use your fingers with this. I find it has a thicker texture than the NARS. When I was in store and actually talking to the person at the Shiseido counter, they were sort of comparing it to the NARS because they're all owned by the same brand. And I don't want to be like, go by the NARS, but the NARS has way more shades. And you get way more product in the NARS. It's one of my favorite products of all time. This has 1.9 ounces in there, or 50 milliliters, so almost double the size of an average foundation. It does cost perhaps a little bit more, but you are getting a lot more product in there. And probably more likely to find your right shade. But this does have a really nice finish, I will say that. And depending on what you use to apply it, that will change your coverage. So you can see light coverage, a little bit of sheen to the skin. This is with no product. And that was using everything that I had on my hand. So as you can see, definitely too deep. I'm not going anywhere today. I've got like a webinar online. Might go to the vet to pick up cat food. But other than that, no plans. I feel like this is like one of those, if you already have quite good skin and you're just looking for something really light, or even if you don't have great skin and you're just looking for something light, it does feel really light. I don't really notice any scent to it. I'm just disappointed in the shade range, but I'm also confused by the shade range. Because now I'm like, is there a better shade for me? I don't understand. And it's the same in the US and Canada, 12 shades. And the person at the counter also said, you know, I think they're testing it out, trying to figure out how it sells, which is like, I'm sick of that. Do it or don't. She was really nice. I don't blame her. So I've actually put quite a bit of product on my face, and I'm sure, as you'll see in the before and after, my skin is significantly deeper. It's like a skin tint slash self tanner, but it does look like nothing on the skin, as you'll see in the close-up. It really doesn't look like I have makeup on, so I think that that's really beautiful. I did put a decent amount on my face. I feel like maybe this might be better with fingers perhaps, but definitely you don't want to overload the product either, because it is meant to be a light coverage product, so it's kind of doing that. So for people who might be like, oh my god, that didn't do anything to your skin, it's really not supposed to do a lot. If you're looking for something more medium or more full, that's definitely the route to go. Because no matter how much you build this up, it'll just start to get heavy on the skin because it's meant to be lighter coverage, but it does feel really, really lightweight and like nothing on the face. I definitely do still set it. I'm going to use a little bit of a lighter concealer and whatnot, but I will go take some flash photos, put on the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back with my sort of full face of makeup. Kept it kind of light today, but everything I'm wearing will be listed in the description box below. I do think things look really good now that I've added some powder and I added a little bit of lighter concealer through the center of my face. I did use, it's one of my favorite concealers of all time, the Shiseido Synchro Skin. I feel like not enough people talk about it, so I wanted to give it a quick shout out. I do think it's so beautiful, really great shade match for me as well. But I do think now that I have all of my makeup on, things look pretty good. It feels really lightweight. It looks incredibly lightweight as well. And I did use just my Hourglass powder today on my under eyes and my face, so I didn't add any color or coverage through the powder that I added, and I tried not to go too heavy on bronzer either. But as for photos, wow. I thought it looked good here in my studio lighting. Really nice sheen to the skin. It doesn't look greasy or anything by any means. And then in flash photo, I thought it looked pretty good as well. Like I said, it is so light coverage that I would be really surprised to see a lot of flashback because my skin is showing through. You can see my freckles, which is really nice. Really lightweight, exactly as it claims. So I'm going to go ahead about my day. I've got a bunch of dishes and cleaning to do, so that's kind of the main task today for me, but I will check back with you in some natural light. Hey guys, I've had the foundation on for quite some time now. I put it on at about 9 a.m. this morning, and now it's just after 2, and I think you can see that the shade match looks okay. Probably if you look along my hairline, you can see it's a little bit deeper than what I want it to be. My oils have started to come through. It's starting to feel a little bit heavier, but it hasn't like slipped around or anything. Doesn't look super greasy. But I will probably blot and powder at the end of the day just to show you how it performs. But I did just want to check in some natural light, and I'll get a little bit closer so you can see. Hasn't really worn off a lot, a little bit around my nose as usual, and I did spend a little bit of the day like that today. But I do think overall it looks pretty good, but I will check back with you in a couple of hours. Hello, it is the end of my makeup day, and I think as you can see, I'm a little bit shiny, but not super shiny. As usual, lost a little bit of product around here. Not gonna lie, I'm just lying on my couch. I just started the show Yellow Jacket, so that's gonna be my plan for tonight after I go for a walk, but I think it looks pretty good. It maybe wore off a little bit here, but blush, bronzer, everything is still in place. It definitely feels a little bit heavier on my skin now that the oils are coming through. And I wouldn't say that it necessarily oxidized, maybe a bit, but it's definitely too warm for my skin. I am going to blot my face now just to show you how that would work. It's funny, I had someone comment on my last foundation review for NARS, and they were like, oh my god, you're using real blotting sheets? What happened to paper towel? Like, you're so fancy now. Kind of joking. But I just literally was cleaning out my makeup collection probably late last year and came across a bunch of blotting sheets, and I was like, I should start actually using them. So let me blot. This is just the Revlon Candid powder. That was the first one I grabbed. So I didn't want to grab anything again that has color in it because I don't want to add any color. I just want to show you what it looks like after I sort of touched up. I also did take my hair down. I was getting a bit of a headache, and I don't think those high buns were helping. But yeah, overall, I would say that I like this product. It's a little bit hard for me to recommend where I don't have a great shade match for myself, and there's just not a great shade range in general. It's obviously going to be a little bit easier to match considering how light coverage it is, but when there's other great tinted moisturizers out there that have a good shade range and a much better shade range and great formulas. It's hard for me to say that this one is like above the rest. I really do enjoy it. I'll probably wear it in the summer when my skin is a little bit deeper. It's a great lightweight option, but like I said, the shade range is just kind of abysmal, so I can't really recommend it. That being said, the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation, the original, is one of my favorite foundations of all time. So I definitely recommend that from them if you're looking for a foundation. If you're looking for a tinted moisturizer that has a good shade range, nice wear time, you know, light medium coverage, buildable, and SPF, the NARS Radiant Light NARS Tinted Moisturizer that I mentioned earlier in this video is phenomenal, so I will link that review down below along with my other Shiseido reviews. But let me know if you have tried this, let me know what you would like reviewed next, and as always, if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!